Assalamu alaikum students, here we come uh, with the second part of Anaximander's philosophy. In previous lecture, we see that Anaximander called the first principle of world as boundless, the boundless, which is matter in general, which is featureless, indeterminate, and indefinite. So we ended up at the question that by what process does the boundless form different things or word. We also sorted this question when we studied Thales, but Thales had no reply to this answer. He had no explanation of the process out of which the things form and universe or world is formed. But right now, uh, Anaximander is Anaximander's thought and his ideas are uh, 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 more developed than Thales. So he also tried to explain the process of formation, creation, and destruction of world. So let's see what is that process. Anaximander said that somehow the boundless, the matter in general, separates itself or divides itself into two different forms, two opposite forms, which are the hot or the cold. And again, uh, by what process the boundless divides itself into these two different opposite forms, Anaximander had no reply. He had a vague idea of that process by which the boundless divides itself into the hot and the cold. He said that the cold is damp and moist, and therefore it constructs or it becomes the earth in the center of universe. And he believed that the earth was first a fluid, or originally it was fluid or water. And the hot is the burning fire. It creates the sphere of fire surrounding the earth. So now we have two things. We have created earth, that means the boundless divides itself into the cold, and the cold becomes earth in the center of universe, and the hot becomes the burning fire, and it becomes the sphere of fire that is surrounding the earth. Now he said that since the earth is originally fluid, damp and moist, and it is containing the sphere of fire, so the heat of the surrounding sphere caused the water of earth to evaporate. It caused the evaporation process. I hope some of or many of you would know the process of evaporation. So the process of evaporation started just due to the surrounding sphere of fire on earth, and it causes the to give a rise to the envelope of air that surrounds the earth. You can also see these things in the first image. There is an earth that is dark cold, and the earth is surrounded by the sphere of fire, and there is a broken circle that represents the envelope of air. It is actually the pressure that develops due to the process of heat, due to the process of evaporation, just nearby the sphere of the fire. So due to the surrounding heat and due to the process of evaporation, the pressure exceeds, and the envelope of air expanded, and it caused the burst into the external sphere of fire that is surrounding the earth. So you can see the new form in the image 2. So when it bursts, it caused the burst into the sphere of fire. The sphere of fire broken down into the series of enormous wheel-shaped husks. You can see those wheel-shaped husks in the image 2. So now the sphere of fire becomes a series of enormous wheel-shaped husks. And the envelope of air again uh, was surrounding these wheel-shaped husks. So when if we imagine that if the surrounding fire of earth is uh, is divided into or is burst into the wheel-shaped husks, so why wouldn't we see the light of these fire stones or fire stars all the time? So the reply to this question is that because these wheel-shaped husks or these card like fire sphere series of fire sphere is surrounded by opaque thick layer of vapors or air. That's why we don't see all the time their lightning and their fire, but there are holes, pipe like holes in the vapor crust, and through these crust we see the fire gleams in form of sun, stars and moon. So in this way Anaximander explained the process of creation and destruction, not right now destruction, the creation of world. So I'm again repeating some points that the cold becomes earth, it is fluid, and the hot becomes burning fire, and it surrounds the earth in form of a sphere, and due to the combination of fire and fluid, the process of evaporation started, and that process caused uh, caused a pressure in form of envelope of air. And here you must keep note the point that at that time, according to Greeks, the vapors and the air was the same thing. That's why the Anaximander is claiming that the air expanded at the boundary of earth into the and it caused the burst into the sphere. So air and vapor at that time, right now they are not the same thing. Air is different and vapors are different, but at that time, because it's a very initial stage, so at that time vapors and airs were the same things, were the same thing. So due to the process of evaporation, the sphere of fire encrusted in form of wheel-shaped husks, and but we don't see the fire of these wheel-shaped husks all the time, because the envelope of air, a thick layer of air, is encircled or surrounded these husks. However, there are pipe-like holes in that layer of air, so we see the fire of those husks in form of stars, moons and sun. So here we know two or three more things, that Anaximander was the first person who called the sun, stars and moon as stones at that time, because before him Before Thales and Anaximander, there was an era of mythologies, theologies, and cosmogonies, and people used to believe in fairies and anthropomorphic gods. They also believed that stars and sun were the gods. So Anaximander refuted that idea. He actually overwhelmed the idea that moons and stars were the gods. He claimed these things as the stones, and moreover, he said that our Earth lies at the center of universe, and it is not spherical but it is cylindrical, and man as an evolved species live on the top end of this pillar of cylinder. uh, Anaximander also developed a striking theory about the origin and evolution of living beings. He believed that man was first a fish, and he was obviously a fish and living in water. Then, by the process of adaptation to their environment, the man evolved into the current form. And these views are resemble to the Darwin's theory. You can have further search on this topic of Anaximander. Anyways, our Anaximander thought is compiled now. It is finished. It is all about his boundless philosophy, that he believed that the first principle of word is boundless, and he also explained that by what process does the boundless form different things and form and create the words. I hope you understand, and I would suggest you to read the whole text uh, about Anaximander from page 24 to page number 27. You must read all the text. Thank you so much.